Hi, I'm Brooke Wilson, and this is my social psychology final presentation. My presentation is going to be over the bystander effect and people with autism spectrum disorder. How are they affected in this? John Darley and Bibb Latane, they were pioneers in the bystander effect. They really went into it. They did 4 experiments regarding the bystander effect. However, I only need to look at 2 of these experiments. The first one is the seizure experiment. They had participants come in individually, and the first condition in this experiment was one participant thought that they were speaking to another participant in a different room, and the other participant was actually recording, and after the first participant would start talking, the other participant, the recording participant, would then start having a seizure. And there's a script, and it actually says the word seizure, please get help in it. Out of that one-to-one study, 100% of the individuals went to get help. In the second condition, it was one participant, and they thought that there were 3 other participants. So they sat in their room, they would start talking, the live participant would start talking. One of the other participants would have the seizure, the exact same script as before. However, in this situation, only 62% of the participants went to report an emergency. Now, with all of the experiments that you're going to see today, there's an assistant right outside in the hallway. So they knew how quickly the emergency was reported. The next experiment was the smoke experiment. This smoke experiment, these students were asked to come in and talk about student life. So these participants, they came in, they would talk about student life, but first they had to fill out a questionnaire. While the students were filling out a questionnaire, again, they were individual. They were put in a room by themselves to fill out this questionnaire, and smoke would start coming out of a vent in the wall. Well, in that first condition, when it was just a single person, 75% went and reported there was smoke coming into the room. The second condition in this study, there was one participant and 2 decoys. These decoys, they knew what was about to happen. In that round of experiment, only one person went and told that there was smoke coming out, even though they were like fanning their face because they couldn't see the questionnaire. Now, the third stage of this was 3 individuals, 3 participants. No one knew what was going on. They sat down in a room to fill out their questionnaires, and then the smoke started coming out. 38% of those individuals reported the smoke. Now, a few years later, in 1973, the last experiment I want to look at was by John Darley and Daniel Batson. It's the hurry experiment. They hypothesized that maybe religious people are more inclined to stop and render aid. So what they did is they went to a seminary school. They obtained 40 participants, and they separated these participants into 2 groups of 20, and then they did 2 groups of 10, two subgroups. So the way this breaks down is they had 40 participants. The first 20, they were told, hey, y'all are going to give a speech in another building over being a good Samaritan. It's going to be recorded. Now, of those 20, 10 were told, hey, you really got to hurry over to the other building. We're in a hurry. The other 10, they were told, hey, you can take your time and make your way over to the other building, but go ahead and head over there so you can sit and wait for the assistant. These were all individually done. I want to make that known. The other 20, they were told that they were going to give a speech over being a seminary student. But they had the same conditions. 10 were told to hurry, 10 were told, take your time to get over there. While each participant was going over, they would encounter a person that was in distress. They would cough, they would moan, and they would fall over. Now, come to find out, their speech topic was irrelevant. What did affect them stopping and rendering aid was if they were in a hurry or not. 63% of the participants stopped if they were not in a hurry. Only 10% stopped if they were in a hurry. What does this have to do with my study? Well, how do people with autism spectrum disorder fit into these studies? I will be using the abbreviation ASD. I think I already told y'all that. ASD impacts social interactions, nonverbal communication, processing speeds. But due to these slower processing speeds and not being able to understand that nonverbal communication, how do they process these emergencies? So, my hypothesis is people with ASD will have similar results as neurotypical people in the individual experiments, but I think that they will put forth action in the group bystander experiments. Due to the people with ASD not understanding many social cues, their group bystander experiments will be different because they're not going to look around to see what everybody else is doing. My independent variables will be the participants. The dependent variables will be the emergency situations. The way I will obtain participants is I will send out an email to sociology students and psychology students asking for students that have been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder to come and participate in a study. Once I have approximately 16 participants with autism spectrum disorder, I will then send out another email looking for a different study for neurotypical individuals. I will need a total of 28, but I would like 32 participants. Once I have 32 participants, or 28, I would call the students, the participants in. I would show them the consent form and I would have them sign it. Once everything was signed, I would separate the participants into one of 3 groups. I will offer the students 10 points extra on either their psychology class or their sociology class. I, of course, will talk to their professors first. There are 3 experiments that I want to do. The seizure study, which will need 12 participants. The smoke study, which will need 8 participants. And the hurry study, which will need 8 participants. Each study will have the same number of participants with autism spectrum disorder and being neurotypical. Experiment 1. It is the seizure experiment. The seizure experiment, what I will do is the seizure experiment will have the exact same layout as the original experiment. The participants will be coming in under the guise that they will be watching a video, and then they have to put a headset on and tell the other participant, which is a recording, about the video they just watched. In the 1-to-1, it'll be the exact same way. And then the 1-to-3, it'll be the exact same way. The participant in the 1-to-1, they will only have 6 minutes to go in to report the seizure. Once their seizure has been reported, the experiment is stopped and that participant is then debriefed. Now, with the 1-to-3, it will be ran the same way, but those participants will have 8 minutes to come out and report from the time the seizure starts, which would be about 30 to 35 seconds after the original participant, the live participant, has started talking, because that's when the seizure will start to happen. And the reason I give them 8 minutes is because of that slower processing time. Now, experiment 2, the smoke experiment, it will be ran the same way. Individuals will go in. I will have them go in to watch a video, because again, they're coming in under the guise that they're supposed to watch a video and then be able to tell what's going on. I didn't change the slide either. Let me do that. So they'll come in, start the video. About after 70 seconds of the video playing, fake smoke will start to come out of a vent. The smoke will be boiled glycerin, which is non-toxic. And once they come out of the room to report the smoke, the experiment will be finished and it will be debriefed. However, I want to do the exact same experiment where there are 2 volunteers in the room watching the video as well, to see if that changes things. If they come out of the room, the experiment is stopped and then they are debriefed. If they sit and watch the whole video, the assistant that's out in the hallway will come in, stop the experiment, and debrief them. The third experiment is the hurry experiment. Now with this hurry experiment, what I will do is I will have 8 participants, 4 with autism spectrum disorder and 4 with being neurotypical. And then from those 4, I will divide them into the 2 groups, 2 being in a hurry, 2 not being in a hurry. The way this will work is they will come in, they will watch a video. They will be told that they need to go down the hallway, down 1 floor into a different room and record what they remember from the video. Now, the participants with autism will be given yellow index cards with the room number written on there. If they are told that they have to hurry, their room number will be written in red. If it is not in a hurry, it will be written in blue. The same as with the neurotypical participants. They will be given a blue index card, and on that index card, it'll be written the same way if they're in a hurry or not. Now, as they watch, once they finish watching the video, they're supposed to go down the hallway. At the end of the hallway, they will encounter a person that looks like they're in distress. They will fall over, they will cough, and they will fall into the floor. We will see if they go and report it, or if they help. If they stop and help, the volunteer will take their index card, and the participant will be debriefed, and the experiment will be over. Now, if they just make it to the room and they don't even notice the person, the assistant that's in the room will take their card, debrief the participant, and the experiment will be over. The results will be analyzed using a one-way ANOVA. There's a little picture of that. Discussion section. I think this is important because people with autism spectrum disorder were not included in the first series of these experiments. If we can find out why the people with ASD helped or didn't help, we can use these experiments and the knowledge we gain to help people be more aware of their surroundings. Also, if people with autism spectrum disorder are taught social skills in school, which I do every day, we probably should teach them about social awareness as well, like be aware of their surroundings. And I think that this experiment would definitely help in that arena. Here are my references. Here are my appendices. I think that's right. Here's my consent form, my debriefing form. That's my script for the seizure. Here are my emails. The first one is for AU students or students with ASD. And this is for my neurotypical students. And here are my diagrams. Every experiment will be done in the same room. The rooms look exactly the same. Here's the 3 participant with the smoke. And then this is the single sitting room. The hallway, this is the door with a person in it. That is for the hurry and non-hurry. And if you'd like, there's the video that they will watch. It's a puppy video. It's funny puppies. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I got in under 15 minutes. Thank you. Have a good day.